So the way it works is this. Look at the drawing of the time particle I've drawn. That's a three-dimensional representation, like an artist's impression of the arrangement of forces. And it's describing the force field of light around us, between the red and the blue lines. Can you see it? It's a force field created just from an arrangement of forces. And it's proving a point. A wheel has an axle. That axle is not spinning. It's a lever. It must be a lever or it's not going anywhere. The wheel just goes round. It's a point you must prove to yourself. Think about it. Really, really think deeply about the center of that axle. Drill deep. Look at some videos and you'll find it's just lever arms moving all the time. And lever arms is described engineering, lathe. And so the force field that I'm describing is created by that beam of light. So the beam of light is the top of the x-axis. The bottom of the x-axis is the pyramid. It's matter. It's the anchor. It's the subject and the object of this force that's created. And what it proves is that you must have free motion. You must have spin. At the center of all this action, all of that action is relative to the action before it. And it builds a turbulent flow in a vortex. But you can, when you understand what you're looking at, you can explain why turbulence. Everything is relative to everything else in this duration of time, which is simultaneous when we measure it with real seconds. It's the duration of space in which we need another unit of time, meter seconds. The piece of ice that exists is a real entity. It represents zero. Think about what it is. Density, maximum. But in that maximum density there is its own force field, the EM field, the electromagnetic field. It's spinning with energy. Magnets and electricity. Horse and carriage, love and marriage, right? They're just partners. One exists because the other does. The EM field is created, so the piece of ice creates its own force field of an EM field, which is on top of infinite density. And then from that motion, a free bearing at the center of the universe spins. And that's the strong force. It's the greatest mass moment in terms of physics. That tiny piece of ice, the diamond, spins free. And then you go back out to the universe, strong force, spin, and there's an x-axis. But the x-axis is merely theoretical because you're inside the frame of reference, so it's a line. It's just a frame of reference, it doesn't exist. You draw it, but the line doesn't exist. It's just a frame. And then you can see the y-axis exists as a real thing, a real entity. So I'm doing this off the top of my head, aren't I?